But who better to discuss it with than fellow Javier Milei fan John Ruddick MP. John, thank you so much for making some time for me once again on the Topher Project.
Good to see you, Topher, on this very happy day.
It is a very happy day, and sometimes it feels like there's not a lot of good news in the world, but I feel like we're seeing more good news these days than what we've seen in quite some time. Now, there's many people who rightly wouldn't really know what's going on in Argentina. Fair enough. It is on an entirely other continent. Why are these events in Argentina so important to you as a libertarian, and why are you watching so closely and celebrating so greatly what we've just seen?
If we could go back at a time machine 3 years ago, Topher, and if I could have been told that in 2025 I'm going to be following Argentinian politics very closely, I would have said, well, that's absurd. Why would I be interested in that? But look, why it is interesting is because there has never been a world leader like Javier Milei. Okay, I like Trump. I probably love Trump, okay, but Milei is a million times better than Trump. Yep. Milei is a radical libertarian. Milei is actually an anarcho-capitalist, okay? So he, like me, he believes that we could actually, in an ideal world, we could phase the government out over a few decades. So it's, look, we like Margaret Thatcher, we like Ronald Reagan. They were classical liberals. They did a good job, okay? But they did reduce the size of the government. 30 years later, the government's bigger than it was before Reagan and Thatcher. So what Milei says is, look, the government is actually a threat. It's the biggest threat we've got. All the atrocities of history were caused by big government.